Hello there, welcome back to this channel where we make animations and other stuff. Today, we're gonna make this little animation from this little anime. Yes, I finally managed to do it. I always wanted to do Attack on Titan animation, and here's my take on it. I'm gonna transform this little guy into this little Titan, because I made him into a chibi Titan. Because he has been depressed recently, so I don't think that will help though. Let's get into it. Okay, so here's Krita for you. It's frame by frame animation. The animation is still going. Great, there's a bunch of keyframes over here, and it looks crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna leave a link in the description for you to download this particular file, so you can open it and you can see what exactly is happening. I'm gonna walk you through the process of how to get this, basically, or you can make something better. I believe in you. Yeah, so I'm gonna stop this. This is my tricks here. So when you do transformation animation in any program, you would like to have a beginning position and an end position, and whatever is in between, that's where our job will be. Now, I know that some programs out there, they have a morphing animation. I think that's how it's called. I could be wrong. I did that. Basically, what is happening is you have an image. Let's say we have an image A, and we have an image B, and when you tell the program, please morph this image into this image, and the program will do that. Now, there's a catch, because it's a computer-generated thing, and what the computer does, and the way a computer works is takes the point of an image, let's say of this image. So he takes this point over here, so he's trying to calculate this point, where this point will go into this image, because this image is also made out of points. So the computer is trying to basically match the points. So from this point to get to this point, and most of the times, it looks like a big blob. You have an actual drawn image, and you have an end image, and then there's this blob happening, and then you get the second image. But if you have seen this anime, you know that this is not how it looks stupid. Now, if you try to morph a square into a circle, it's a bit easier and it's more believable. But when you try to morph a human, right? If you try to transform a human into a giant scary chibi titan, yeah, the program cannot do that for you. So you have to figure out how you're gonna do it. That's why the frame by frame animation is still a thing, kids. I believe it will be after many years. I'm just saying. Anyway, so it's not dead. That's what I'm trying to say. 2D animation is not dead. It's just studios that are too, Disney, I'm looking at you. I'm not gonna say anything. Anyway, so this is the idea, right? You need to have your beginning position and your end position, and your job is to fill the gap. So here's how I fill the gap. Now, this is my final. I'm gonna show you my rough animation. That this is my first pose and my last pose. So I'm gonna just color these so you can get the idea what's happening here with the frames. Now, as you notice, my frames, they're not evenly spaced, because you hear animators say, oh, okay, this is animated on 2s, or this is animated on 3s, and so on and so on. Technically, it doesn't matter on how many frames something is animated, as long as that something looks believable, and the movement is like, it's not just about the movement. I agree, it's about making the character believable, making the character act properly. So in this case, I don't know how much of an acting we're gonna get, but sure, it's not evenly spaced. For example, this particular frame is visible for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames. So there's a drawing on these 5 frames that is visible for 5 frames. Why I'm getting nervous, honestly. So the next one is actually we see the trigger. We're giving it a little bit of space to think what exactly, to see if there's a reaction right after the hit, and then there's a hit, and then after the hit there's an actual reaction, and here's the reaction when the camera is zooming into the character, and then we see the trigger, we see the rotation of the character, and then becomes this blob, and from this blob we are getting slowly transitioning from the blob to the top of the head of the character, and then trying to get into now this frame, from this frame to this frame. Well, it looks weird, I know, but when you play this fast, you barely notice it. So I was like, you know what, this will do. I don't care. I don't know how to do this transition because I didn't plan this well, as I said, and I literally made this in like straight ahead. And I was like, you know what, it works. It just works. It will be played fast. Let's just play this very fast. But you're able to see the transformation, I think. And as you notice, these frames over here, they're evenly spaced. All of them are on 2, so one drawing is visible for 2 frames, if you're wondering. And yeah, that's why I'm assuming that when you see a lot of those frames, you're like, oh, what is happening? But if you go through them, you will see exactly what is happening. So it's not that complicated, but this is my, as I was trying to sorry, I was trying to explain. This is my beginning and this is my end post, and this here is the work, the hard transition that's happening from position A to position B. And again, this was very rough. I wasn't trying to make my character to look accurate to the actual character, nor right now with this animation, I wasn't trying to make this perfect enough. It was more like guidelines for me once I go there and add my line work, and I did that on a different layer. What I did is I have if I hide this, if we go to final, it's on a separate folder. I have the VFX on a separate layer. Here's the blade. I decided to draw the blade on a separate layer because I could animate it properly, even though that didn't change much. But I thought, okay, this blade will be on a separate layer, so I don't have to worry about that. I can focus on the character. And as you notice, the character is very simplified. There are no like pockets here on the jacket. And then I'm missing some details. I wasn't trying to make this detail as possible, but you can only imagine when the actual professional animators, they have to animate every single detail. They have to draw that, and oh my god, phew. But they do that for a living. So kudos to them. Yeah. So we have this little effects. I put this into a VFX. I did add them on a separate layer, as you see here. And then we have this close up of the camera. Now, the camera into the animation, I have to say this, you are the camera. The animator is the cameraman in the 2D animation world. Because we don't have an actual camera, a virtual camera, or an actual camera to rotate around the drawing. We have to make a new drawing to fit that angle. So in this case, I decided to make my transformation a bit more dynamic, even though it's not that dynamic, but it is, I think it's subtle. So we have this instant zoom of the character, and then we have this, it's terrible when you when you look at the separate frames, but it does sell the effect of the character rotating. It's like the camera going around the character. And then again, I don't draw much in the style, so I was like, you know what, this will do. They won't see it. I mean, now you see it, but yeah. So we have this blob, and then it turns to yellow, and then it turns to the color of his hair, and then we have this a little thingy, and the you see the smoke is also drawn on the separate layers over here, and then I decided that I need to add shadows. It took me like more than 5 hours, not 10, but maybe around 10. I was going to say I'm quite happy with how this turned out. I'm gonna leave a link with this animation for you, so you can download that and you can see it for yourself and you can study it. And then again, it's a free program and you can do even better animations in this little free program. Yes, it's frame by frame, but what else do you need actually if you want to do frame by frame? Yeah, there are better programs out there which are paid. So that's what I'm gonna say with this. Hopefully, this whole tutorial, if we say it is a tutorial, yes. I was trying to like do this fast, and I did record this like 1,000 times, and I'm obnoxious in this one. I'm sorry. But I will stop talking now, and I'm gonna say goodbye, and I hope you like this video. Or if you have some comments, do leave them. I read all of them. And until then, until the next one, stay healthy, and I'm gonna see you when I see you. Bye.